What's up, everyone? It's Wacka. Welcome you to season 10 of Sacred Dwarf Swine Powywinkies. I'm joined by Not Wacka, if you want to say hi.
Hi, it's not Wacka, it's Chickity.
And yeah, I think you joined me for like season 7. No, I think season 8 PRs. Because I did
One of
7
them.
with Jaden and like 9 with Chalk, who's irrelevant now. Um,
I hope he's
Yeah,
watching.
I feel like you did a PRs with me at some point. It's a memory that we both have, but we're not sure if that was season 8 because you didn't even play. So, anyway, this season we are doing Ubers for
You put a
the
slideshow. You're spoiling it.
for like the 1.5 people that are not coaches that are actually watching this because YouTube recommendations and stuff uh, can be silly. And yeah, we had 150 points with our budget as well as two Terra captains. Um, no budget on Terra captains. You just had to have two. However, the restriction is if one of your Terra captains goes into the Uber range, they count as an Uber, and so on and so forth. You get three Ubers, which is actually kind of a lot for this format. So we'll see how that goes. With the power level and stuff. But um, yeah. Well, anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, there's three Ubers, so most people did like gold, silver, bronze. I don't think everyone did. I think a few people did like silver, 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 like silver, silver, bronze. Or just like saved their budget to make sure the rest of their team was powerful with what they could work with. Um, so yeah. Anyways, this is PRs, and power rankings are complete bogus anyways, but people like to hear about like what people have to say about their teams, so that's why we're doing this. Anyways, it sounds like you want to talk Chickadee. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I think, we can just get right into it. I think all of the PRs, they were hard to rank, but except the last one. I think the team that was last is kind of a
It
no-brainer.
was
I think
very it was very easy, unfortunately. And speaking of last place, we have Azu Nerd, aka Zelda, aka Luca Chan. Um yeah, this is a team. It is very powerful, and I did rate this a 10 out of 10 on offense because it has a lot of stuff. Actually, before I go into it, I should just list off everything on the team in case people are like listening and not watching. Um, Azunerd has Mega Gengar as his gold, Champow's his silver, Latios as his bronze, and then added on Goldingo, Slowbro, Gouging Fire, Terra Palma, Whimsicott, Gligar, Knucklesack, and Komala. And Latios is also a Terra because it was a bronze. Um, but yeah, the team is very good offensively. I gave it a 10 out of 10 on that because there's just so much here and there's so many options between like the top three. Goldingo's strong, Palma is really strong, Gouging Fire is very strong. Um, but it definitely lacks in like defense for sure. Do you have anything to say before I like keep yapping?
Yeah, so I think which in the notes he said the most knockoff weak team of all time. It has very good offense. I think a lot of like you can't really have like bad offense in Ubers. I feel like just one Uber will carry you for your entire offense.
For
But
sure.
just the offense is good. It's just you have Mega Gengar that's weak to knockoffs. You probably wanted to get a knockoff switch in, and then you got Whimsicott Chien-Pao as your knockoff switch-ins, and then having like your steel or your water not resisting to dark either. It's just yeah,
And I
there's a
actually feel
lot.
like Chiampao is not a knockoff switch in. Like
It isn't.
it doesn't really want to take that chip, and it doesn't really want to lose its item, whether it's like choice band or boots. I suppose there's mashups where it can go without boots, but like it typically wants like the choice item or like the dark glasses and or not black glasses or like icicle plate or whatever it does. Um, so it doesn't really like that, and Whimsicott is not really gonna come to every game. And it doesn't help that on top of that we have two Violate Mons. So like the only proper knockoff switching I'd see is Palmot, which isn't great.
And
And I
that's
guess like
Terra too.
there might be some instances where Slowbro kind of is the knockoff switching, which isn't great. But you can probably bait a lot of like knockoffs into like weakness policies and like stuff like that. And Latios is Terra, which helps because I think like Terra fighting is going to be very good on it, and like I don't know what Terra Latios does other than like hit things hard.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
don't get me wrong, it's not a bad team. It's just like I feel like everybody in Ubers has a really good team. They just
yeah,
this stood out as
this just
like
kind of happens to be
not
the worst.
good.
Like, yeah,
Yeah. But it's definitely not a bad team. I like the offense on this team a lot.
and it's really just like the utility and the defense brings it down a lot because like as you can see with the utility, like most of the utilities within like the last four mons, and those are like the four mons you don't want to bring to every game, so
Yeah.
you kind of lose a lot there because like Gligar wins, Zakata are like the pivots. They're also the removal. They're also the hazard setters. They're also like the annoying like knockoff T wave bullshit mons. Um, yeah, so it's not great, but there's some stuff, and I would have preferred to see like a better hazard setter because Goldango's on this team. Otherwise, I feel like Goldango has like no purpose. It probably
Yeah.
could have been like Aegislash, and Aegislash was pretty cheap this season. I think I put it at like 13. So we probably could have picked that up, and I was trying to help him like fix his team at the end, but I didn't have time. Grace was also ending, so if he wants to fix his team though, I think it's very doable. We just have to kind of see what needs to go, and I definitely think Goldango's one of them. But yeah,
Yeah. I think what could have been cool is if he picked up like a Terrakion as like a justified user. I think that could have
oh
been cool to
yeah,
like not just
Terrakion actually could have been really good on this team over like
yeah with Terra.
Palma. Although I do like Palma on this team.
Oh,
I
that's
think Terra
good.
Terrakion would have been pretty good if we could like
Yeah.
move some stuff around. Goldango, buy Golding. Yeah, fuck that guy. Anyways, 15th place is gonna be Dedanley. This was a team I had rated a little bit higher. As you can see, the Breloom with the Luigi hat, although it looks a little off-centered. It's kind of covering his face a little bit, but um, what's a shooter if you can't shoot blind, you know? And yeah, I had this team rated a little bit higher, but then I kind of realized how kind of mid the rest of the team is. I anyways going into the team before I like go too further again. We got Mega B2Y, Dialga, Terra Urshifu, Primarina, Donphan, Pecharunt, Terra Raikou, Talonflame, Breloom, Audino, and Pinsir. What do you gotta say about this Chickadee?
I think I like the top four plus like Petrarunt, but I feel like everything else is just not amazing. I think Primarina is very good in Ubers. I feel like just any fairy just can put in a lot of work and always has good matchups. And Terry Shifu, I like it. I feel like it's not like the best like mom that could Terra on this team maybe, but I feel like there's better. You could have gotten another Terra captain because I feel like Urshifu, yeah, click Terra Dark Wicked Blows, but like I feel like that on its own it already does like a lot of damage. So I feel like it's like when I used like Terra Victini before, I thought it was gonna be really good with the V Create. When I used it, it just didn't feel like it was needed to have Terra. I feel like that's what's gonna happen to Urshifu.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier with Orn and Call, and I kind of agree with Orn though. Not that I completely disagree with you, Chick, but like, um, I think Urshifu's like not good in this gen. Or it's like all right, but it's very like it's probably not worth its value without Terra. But I think with Terra, it just kind of helps put it over the edge where it like wants to be. And it does have a niche where like you can't really protect against it. And if you could do like Terra Dark Wicked Blow, I think that's really good.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I just feel like there are better
There's
options out there.
definitely
I feel.
yeah, I would agree. There's definitely better options. I'd actually say that Rapid Strike is a better option, but We do have
I
a
just think,
marina, so like I kind of see that direction.
yeah, I just feel like Urshifu doesn't really like need Terra. I feel like, yeah, in my opinion, it's a good mon on its own. I feel like another
I
mon
think
could have
it's good.
benefited more.
I guess we can agree to disagree, but
Yeah,
I do agree that there's better options. Um, Other than that, like I don't really like the utility that much on this team. You're very reliant on like Donphan Talonflame, which I think Donphan would also be pretty good in this format because of sturdy plus like rapid spin and like knockoff Ice Shard. Like I think it has a good use in Ubers as like a mini Great Tusk. And it is strong too if you want to run like Rock Polish with like it gets a lot of coverage like Gunk Shot, Earthquake, High
you can also
Horsepower,
get
everything.
Sparrow.
Play rough, yeah, Ice Spinner. Like it's pretty scary offensively. Like I don't know if other people do this, but I definitely prep for like offensive Donphan.
Yeah, I just feel
Um,
like on this team that like your removal is Donphan and Talonflame, so I feel like you're always gonna want to bring Rapid Spin Donphan. I guess you can make it like a Rapid Spin offensive set if you really wanted
yeah,
to.
I guess if you
But I feel
want
like
to, yeah, it would be like a rapid spin offensive set. Although a rapid spin doesn't really give you the speed boost that you need. Like you,
yeah,
although it's kind of funny because it has like the same speed tier as Ursaluna, and something I like to do with Ursaluna, if I'm pairing it with Shifu, which I think I've done like twice, um, things will speed creep Urshifu, but then like they don't actually speed creep +1 Ursaluna. Like Ursaluna is like just barely faster at +1. So Donphan can do the same thing, but now that I've said it in PRs, everyone's gonna be prepping for the +1 Donphan. You're welcome.
but yeah, I thought Audino was pretty cheap at 3 points, so I like that
It
pickup.
was.
Pinsir,
I was glad to
yeah,
see both
Pinsir,
of the Audinos get picked up.
yeah, Pinsir. I feel like is not gonna do anything.
No, it
Braylon could do
won't.
some.
I am also not sure why I put it at 4 points. That was a complete ripoff. I think it was at
Yeah,
4 points because like 2 seasons ago we did the no hazards thing, and then I just kind of left Pincer at 4 points, and I don't know why, but thank you to Danley for at least trying with Pincer. I don't know why you picked it up. I honestly I think it should have been low tier grass, and you should have picked up like Heracross. I think
yeah, that
over
would have been cool.
Breloom,
Yeah,
but I like Breloom too with like
triple
priority.
fight. Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, again, this team is not bad. I just think you could have done better with like I think your top I guess four plus Petron. Donphan's okay too. I think the rest of it is just really mid.
yeah. Also, excuse like the slight spelling errors and like stuff like that. I just noticed like you're probably all gonna see like the red shit because I'm actually not doing it on the slides just in case I have to like click on Discord if stuff happens because Discord's spotty. Anyways, at 14th we have Shamki with
Ball
a
sex skills.
really fast team actually. Tangela and Weezing are our slowest Pokemon, which is insane. Also, do you like the? You guys probably noticed the present on his head, but I also have the Luigi gun and like the headphones and the Slowbro. I do something on every slide, so watch out for that.
Ooh.
On this team we have Mega Lucario, Terra Darkrai, Dragapult, Iron Bundle, Weezing Galar, Tentacruel, Terra Entei, Iron Crown, Staraptor, Sandy Shocks, Tangela. What do you think about this team?
I like the Terra Captains a lot. Think Terra Darkrai and Terra Entei are good Terra Captains. Iron Bundle feels a little out of place on this team. I think this team would have benefited a lot from like electric terrain. You maybe could have picked up like a
I
Pincurve.
I agree because we also have Iron Crown on this team, and like even even the Electric Train team doesn't have as many mons that benefit from Electric Train as this one does, which is really funny. I
Yeah.
also think I would have preferred like Terra Bundle over Terra Darkrai, but Darkrai is also really great.
hmm
Um, Also, your mic is a little bit weird. I'm not sure if it'll pick up on the video.
Was it weird? I hear like
Yeah,
echoing on your end a
it's
little
like
bit, but
yeah, it's like echoing.
oh, is that on my end or your end? I hear the echo from your
I
end.
think it's on your end.
Really?
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like whenever I talk, I just hear my voice from your mic. Hopefully the video turns out okay.
Hopefully. Um, what was I saying? We were talking about bundle, I think.
Yeah, something about you wish it was Terra.
Oh yeah, I wish it was Terra, but it's fine. Terra Darkrai is still great. Um, oh yeah, I think it's me coming through your mic on
Is
your
it?
end. Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways,
Hopefully it
I just
doesn't.
hope it doesn't get picked up on the thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, Terra Darkrai is good though because it can like Terra Poison and stuff. Um, I think Terra Poison is probably its best Terra just because it can bait like fighting and fairy shit. Even in Terra Preview, if you can see it coming, you're still making like a 50-50 on a Mon that has Darkrai's offenses and speed.
Yeah.
Um,
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to connect to my headphones.
sure. Okay.
You can keep yapping.
I'll keep yapping. Anyways, yeah, this team's very fast, and I think Chickadee was saying that under Iron Bundle is definitely a little like, why do we have Iron Bundle on this team at all? Actually, because we have Tentacles our water already. We already have the speed like everywhere else. We have Polt, Darkrai, Mega Lucario. Like, I don't really see the point in Iron Bundle other than sniping Wacka, of course. But it's fine. Um, Another issue with this team I saw was like a lot of the defense is reliant on Tentacruel, Weezing, Iron Crown. And something that they're all weak to is ground because I do think Weezing will want to run neutralizing gas quite a bit, but even with Levitate, um, I can't even say there's like mold breaker mons like Excadrill because no one drafted Excadrill. But I do think it's like not too hard to work around like those weaknesses. Um, because Crown, Weezing, Tentacle like aren't the most reliable defense in the world, and a lot of the other team doesn't have like much like bulk, natural bulk because like most of these mons are not gonna take a hit. So I can see some issues with like if Tentacruel dies, you kind of just die to like a special attacker, for example. I mean, like Iron Crown is also there. If Weezing dies, you kind of lose the physical attackers, and no, Tangela is not actually real. Anyways, Chickidy's deafened, so I'm gonna move on to the next team. We have a Bash to 12, who is not in
I'm,
12th place. Oh, are you back?
is my mic better now? I joined on my phone with headphones.
Um, you sound different, but I think it's better.
Okay.
Okay.
What team are we on?
I
Avash's
I
team?
finished I finished with Sam. Do you have anything else to say about Sam's team?
I'm sure you said everything. I like the Terra Captains. Bundle feels a little out of place. Could have used my electric terrain. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, your removal is good. I feel like, and your hazards are sandy shocks.
Is
But
the
honestly, I feel
removal
like
good? It's kind of just the poison types.
yeah, it is just the poison types. But I feel like we talked about this, but I feel like the poison, double poison's not bad. They only share their weakness to psychic, and that can open the door to like Darkrai or something. And Dragapult can help kill the psychics, and
That is
Iron Crown also
true. That
helps.
is true. Yeah.
Yeah, and your only hazard setter's sandy shocks, but I feel like in Ubers you don't really click hazards too often, so I think
No,
that's
you can't
honestly
skip it.
completely fine.
See that. Anyways, I moved on
Yeah,
to
and there's a lot of
Abashta. I haven't said anything about Abashta's team yet, so I'm gonna go recap the
okay.
team really quick and then we'll talk about it. So we got Primal Kyogre, we got Arceus fighting, who's in the trash. I put all the Arceuses in the trash. Like, sorry, but it's just a boring
Ashius.
Pokemon. Um, we also got Mew, Landorus, Mega Charizard X, Gengar, Cleaver, Tinkaton, Terra Mousehold, and Liepard. In case I missed it, it's also Terra Mew as the Bronze Uber. Um, I thought this team was interesting. Um, the main thing I wanted to point out was like the speed tiers being like very clumped, which isn't like a horrible thing because we kind of cover like everything that's important. But I also kind of think it's important to have like some good slow options, just like like slow pivots like Electros or like Slow King, Slow Bro, or like whatever. Not that this team needs like that specifically. Actually, this team could use an Electros actually, but
Yeah, definitely
um,
can.
because there's no water killer in this team. We have no electric. We have no grass. But that's besides the point. I'm talking about the speed tiers. I I think it's safe to always have something that's slow, just in case you face like Trick Room. There are some teams later on that have like a good Trick Room mode. Um, with like the Slow King or like the Lotties. I think the Lotties get Trick Room. I'm not sure, but
I'm
like
not sure.
a lot
Yeah.
of teams I think have Trick Room support or like anti Trick Room options, but this team, like, we have Terra Mew, and I don't think Terra Mew wants to be spent on like anti Trick Room and stuff like that. I low key I think that's a problem for this team. If people want to do that, Trick Room's kind of niche though. Um,
Yeah.
like,
I,
yeah, I don't know. I just think there's like
this
some
team.
issues with speed. Even like some of the slower mons can just run like a lot of bulk, whereas like otherwise they might want to run some speed. And 120 is fine for the fastest, but it also can't like scarf, and like there's no such thing as scarf mouse hold either. So
Yeah.
there's not really a lot of like speed to prep for, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, your only ground resist or immunity is the Lando. Like that. Like I think what Waka said, Electros would have been good. Helps you kill waters, helps you with your ground, helps with your little bit of your flying weakness.
Oh, for
Like yeah,
sure.
Electros would have been good.
Oh yeah, the only flying resist is Tinkaton. This team is very reliant on Tinkaton. I think is like a utility mon with like T Wave rock. So I mean, we have a lot of good like rockers. I guess we literally have Cleaver. So like rocks are fine, but like I don't know. You want like Encore. Encore is super good. Actually, this whole team has good Encore. Damn, maybe I was a little bit wrong, but I do think Tinkaton does like a lot as like a flying resist and like other things it does. I kind of forgot because I did this like a week ago, and then I spent like the
Hmm.
last 3 days sleeping. Do you have anything to say before I say anything stupid?
Um, I don't know if anybody drafted Spectre, but I feel like Spectre would kind of go in on this team as your normal being Mousehold and
Yeah.
your dark being Liepard.
Yep. Oh yeah, that was definitely something I
Yeah,
was gonna point out. I was like, Lipard is not like a real dark type.
yeah.
I like that you have Prankster as an option, but actually, like as I said, I just point out like the utility isn't that bad. Although I would say it relies a lot on like the low tiers because Mew doesn't do everything very well, and like most of that utility stuff is like fake utility, like defog Lando. Like you don't run that shit. You don't really run knockoff
Hmm.
Gengar either. So I mean, it looks like there's a lot, but there's really not that much because you're relying so much on like Tinkaton, Liepard, Mousehold, Cleaver. Um,
Yeah. I think it has a lot of good like setup sweepers. Kyogre hits like a truck. I think I like the
yeah,
RCS fighting
this
here,
is definitely
honestly.
just like a do damage team. And RCS fighting is good like defense too. We have some alright defense and like some natural bulk, like Zardex too. Um,
Yeah.
but
RCS.
I don't really like how a lot of the team just does not hold items. Like the best mons just can't hold items. That's three mons
That
just
is true.
fighting
Yeah.
Kyogre and Zardex. But this is cool that this is the only team that kind of has like two megas, and you can use both of them. So
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, this team definitely would have liked the water killer for that Kyogre. I know Primal Kyogre gets Thunder, but I don't
it
think you can
does.
always
It
rely.
does
I
get Thunder,
don't
and
think you
like
can always rely on
if
that.
you're setting up the rain and clicking like Origin Pulse, like you're probably doing like over 50% to most of the waters anyway. And Zardex
Yeah.
with Fire just kind of sets up on most water types. So I don't think it's too much of an issue, but I do think it would have been good to have a better like grass or electric type, and then just kind of remove Liepard for like a dark.
Yeah,
Like if you made Maushold and Liepard and like Obstagoon, I wouldn't have like too much of an issue.
I think that would have been better. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
and
this
even
team
even
again, not
Cleaver, like
bad.
you could remove Cleaver because Cleaver's more of like a luxury mon, and it's not like that
Yeah,
good. That's my take.
but,
Do you have anything else to
but
say
yeah,
before we move on?
I think RC is fighting. RC's got a bunch of new stuff this gen, so I think that alone can win you a lot of games. RC is just bulky, it gets like Dragon Dance and all the coverage you need. Mew also, it's just I think it's gonna be hard to prep for this team.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be hard to
Like,
prep for like the top like five, especially. You're
yeah,
just kind of
I
trying
feel
to
like
figure out like how the fuck do you switch into like all those.
yeah. So yeah, again, every team has good offense. I feel like, but yeah, I think Tier Mew is gonna be obviously hard to prep for. You don't
Yeah,
know if RC is gonna be physical or special.
yeah.
A Kyogre could be set up. Yeah.
I definitely think something with Ubers is like you just have to outpace your opponent, and I'm not sure how well this team will do it.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this team.
Okay. Well, moving on to number 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. We got Heister with the Marshadow, Terra Wellspring, Genesect, Zapdos, Alolan Ninetales, Crocodile with the Cowboy Hat, Terra Heatran,
Oh yeah.
Alolan Sandslash, Toxtricity, and Mega Sceptile. The Cowboy Hat just worked too well. And maybe it could have been
Well,
like a
what
little
was the
cooler, but
who was the gym leader that had Crocodile in black and white?
oh,
What was
it
his
was
name?
Clay. I definitely didn't make that connection though. I
He
don't
kind of looks like him.
actually. I don't think he had a Crocodile. I think he had Excadrill, but he had like Croc Rock.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I
He
just
had
know
a
he had the cowboy
yeah, he did. He had the Cowboy. He also has
hat.
like a bunch of descendants in like every game. He has like one in
Yeah,
Legends Arceus, and he has one in the Blueberry Academy or whatever the fuck it was called. I guess
I don't even know what that
uh,
is.
his genes are going around.
Oh yeah,
Anyways, I believe this is the only Terra Ogerpon in the league, and I
I
did
think so.
ban
Yeah.
I did ban Hearthflame, although I think it was kind of an unnecessary ban with the rest that was allowed. But um,
Oh, you should.
yeah, Hearthflame was banned, but like the other two, I don't think. I think the regular Ogerpon got picked up, but it wasn't Terra, unfortunately. But I do think Terra Wellspring is cool. This team we actually traded with Samkey. We did the
Oh, I
Mega
forgot about
Lucario
that.
Megapult trade with the Marshadow Genesect. Um, this definitely made Heister's team better, which I'm happy
For
for.
sure.
Sam's team like unironically got worse because of the trades, and I think everyone agreed.
I mean,
Um,
I understand. He wanted a Mega
he wanted
Lucario. I
Mega
understand. I think
Lucario.
it was like I think what he was saying is like a pick for pick trade. Like I think as soon as Heister said he's gonna pick a Mega Lucario, Sam
Yeah,
just started begging him in
so
DMs.
like it was planned in the beginning, but I think unironically, um,
Definitely made Sam's team worse.
Sam built around the Mega Lucario, and like it was still better with the Marshadow and the Genesect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we do have we have no psychic, no normal. That's fine. I guess it
Yeah, it's
depends
okay.
on.
Cricket has a good dark.
It's a good dark. I'm not sure how well it switches in on Ghost because its special defense isn't the best, but you can play it
Yeah.
on like AV on some sets if you wanted it to. I kind of think Crocodile's like a very overrated dark and ground. Like it's not a
That's
roll compression, but I don't think Crook is good.
that's fair. I mean, I kind of like Crook. Just I feel like it's bulky enough with Intimidate. I think yeah, I like it more like it can also run Scarf a few weeks, but I like it bulkier typically.
Yeah. Okay. I yeah, I don't know. There's just something about Crook I just don't really think it's like that great. But
That's
it's not
fair.
really the centerpiece of the team. I mean, like we got three pretty good Ubers. I think Wellspring's gonna be a lot better than people give it credit for. Because I do think Terratax is a little still like
It's a little expensive. Expensive. A
it is
little, in my
expensive,
opinion.
but I think Terra like if you're saying like Diance's 12 points with Terra, I actually think it performs better than like a 12-point Mon. And I think
That's
it
true.
just depends because people really build their Terras like win games, so they seem like they do better than they actually do, or than they actually are. So I'm not sure how Wellspring will do that. I guess I don't think I'm making sense, but maybe I do.
No, I mean I feel like Marshadow is a very good Uber in my opinion. There's nothing switching into fighting Ghost Stand. And then how you have like
Yeah.
Spectral Thief to steal setup. Genesec's also a very good pivot. The removal is just Zapdos and Stand Slash. Zapdos is obviously a very
Yes.
good remover, but
Yes,
I feel
but
like it's gonna be pressured to do that all the
it's
time.
gonna do that every week, and I think I used Alolan Ninetales plus Alolan Sandslash in a different league not that long ago, and even without Ubers, I think Sandslash was a little like weak,
Yeah.
and it's not even Terra, so it's gonna be very easy to exploit, and it has a lot of weaknesses. So I'm gonna imagine like it's not gonna do anything. I kind of wish we grabbed like maybe like Terrace to Titan, or even just like Terra to Alolan Sandslash instead of Heatran. But I think Terra Heatran's also like very good. I guess we just didn't really need like a snow mode, but if you're gonna do Ninetales, you might as well use 4 points for Alolan Sandslash. But I wouldn't expect him to like use it. I guess if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the last 3 months. I think Ninetales Ebola is going to be very good in this format. I feel like it could be screens, it could be nasty plot, it could just be Specs Moonblast, Scarf Moonblast. I think that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
But I think Stand Flash, I feel like isn't going to really do much. I don't think Toxtricity or Mega Sceptile could maybe come, but I feel like you can make those last three into something good.
I think Mega Sceptile's fine. It's fast and it hits really hard, and it's like it's not bulky, but I think it can take a hit. And like
Yeah.
toxicity is a little meh 'cause it's kind of frail and kind of slow, and it doesn't really hit hard before like throat spray or like choice specs, choice scarf. Um,
hmm
I think we should have probably made that just like a poison. I think he probably actually should have made it Galarian Slowbro and Bear Tick instead of
That could have
Sandslash and
been good,
Tox. And
yeah.
I think he did do Slowbro at one point. I'm not really sure why we changed it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the toxicity. I feel like everything what you said is just a little weak, and I don't think Sandstress is coming. But yeah, I also would have liked another remover. But Marshadow, I don't know if I think I already said this, but Marshadow is very good. I think that by itself is going to help you win a lot of games.
Yeah, it's just very like anti-setup. Like it's kind of like having a Ditto in a way.
That is true. Yeah.
Like you don't really want to set up in its face unless you're faster and can kill it. So that's interesting. But that's all we have to say about that team. Hopefully, we're going a little bit slow, but if we get like a 2-hour episode, then fuck it.
Good for you
Um,
guys.
Next team is Odie and Drampa's Nuts. Unfortunately, there's no Drampa on this team. Would have been very nice.
Lame.
Lame. Anyways, we have the Mega Mewtwo X, Naganadel, Terra Melmetal, Tinglu, Thundurus, Jellicent, Clefable, Serena, Comfey, Arcanine, Porygon. I'm actually looking at this team. I'm kind of wondering why I put it this high. Because I think some of the other teams might have been better.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say Mega Me 2X isn't good. I don't know who said that, but I think Mega Me 2X is like an amazing one.
I think
And
it
I think
seems
Terra
bad, but
Metal.
from what I've seen, I think people think it's bad because it uses lower base power moves.
I mean,
Like,
it makes up for its base stat though, in my
yeah,
opinion.
like I don't know, like what is it using? Like Drain Punch, Psycho Cut. It's a little bit weak, but I still like it does a lot of damage and it's pretty fat. It's good
Yeah, I
build.
like how it's fat. You can just set up bulk ups with it and then drain punch it all back. But
Exactly.
I think it's a really good Uber, and Terramemo that's gonna you kind of need to run Rocky Helmet for things like that. But then it can just run Punching Glove, and then oh you're screwed. And then I think
I think Terra Steel puts Melmetal over the edge on like a lot of mons.
yeah
With
for
Punching
sure.
Glove, like your Terra Melmetal should be able to, I guess, 4-shot, but like and like it can kill stuff like Slowking in 2 turns with I think double Iron Bash. Because before it needed to use like Thunder Punch to do that, but now you can just kind of click
Right,
double Iron Bash against like a lot of things. Um,
that's true. Yeah.
like you can definitely just
I,
OHKO things now too.
mhm.
But I think when I initially said like, oh, this team might actually be worse than like the teams before it. Um, I looked at Jolson, Clefable, Serena, Arcanine, Comfy, and I just kind of they're just kind of underwhelming.
I
You
agree.
know,
I don't know. I don't like the Serena and the Comfort here. I feel like you could make those two something else. Arcanine, it's okay, I think. But I'm not a big fan of the Serena and the Comfort. I think you could have
I
made that.
kind of don't mind the Serena. I think the Arcanine should have been like Arcanine Hisui because it's like
Mm-hmm.
more damage and it's more offensive in this matchup. Although Arcanine has some good offensive matchups, it's just not as strong as like Arcanine Hisui, and it's kind of like more defensive. Like the low tiers are a little bit too defensive when we already have Melmetal Tinglu, which can kind of just handle the defense without actually having to run defense. Like you could run like Choice Band Tinglu and you're still taking like 40% from Moonblast. And Terra Melmetal is
Yeah. Well,
very moldable. Like Melmetal Tinglu, like sure they're weak to like what fighting. Then you like Terra Poison Melmetal or like Terra Fairy, and like they just kind of cover each other very well.
or you just switch to Mega Mewtwo X and Spaghetti-O. What I was
Exactly.
saying about Serena, I feel like it looks good on paper, but I feel like it's not
Oh
good in
yeah,
practice, in my
it.
opinion.
I was saying like Serena is literally like allergic to coming to games. Like it just doesn't
Yeah.
want to come to games. I'm not really sure like why. I think because it's overwhelmed with its roll compression. Is like it wants to click knockoff. It wants to click synthesis. It wants to wall shit. It also wants to like click triple axle and like OHKO shit. It wants to click power
Also wants
whip,
to like spin.
spin, U-turn. Like it just kind of wants to do
Yeah.
everything, but it can't. So like oftentimes it's so overwhelming that you just don't even bring it. Cause like
Yeah,
you
I
bring
also
it
would
and
have
it's
liked.
not doing everything that you need it to in the game.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I would have liked better removal on this because I feel like Serena's not going to come to a whole lot of games. Comfy, he could run defog a few weeks, but with Terra, I think you want it to be more set up. And then I don't like Thunders can run defog, but I feel like in some weeks you want it to be like more offensive. And I feel like you could have gone like
I
another good
yeah,
remover and it
I
would have been
do.
better.
For
But
this team though specifically, I feel like I see Thundurus as more of like an annoying mon with like prankster shit. So
yeah,
I could see like a suicidal like prankster defog if he wants to. I've even run like sub toxic on Thundurus because it doesn't have to worry about moving last, which is
yeah,
cool.
but then you could just draft a big eye for that. Big eye does all of
Yeah, oh yeah, Illumise also does that.
that.
And
Yeah, I feel
it's
like
probably bulkier.
it probably is bulky. Yeah, big eye would have thrown this team over the top.
Yeah. I
But
honestly
yeah,
I would have made if you want to use Thundurus, I would have made Thundurus your Terra.
I think so too. Yeah,
'Cause then
I think you
it
could.
leans more into that offensive role. Something I think Ryan talks about is like having an offensive Terra and a defensive Terra, but I also see the vision where you have like an offensive physical Terra and an offensive special Terra. And I think this team could have done well
Yeah,
with it. I also think other things on this team are just underwhelming. Like even Jellison is kind of underwhelming, and like it'll probably kind of just die in Ubers. I do like
yeah,
Jellison though, but I it's not that great. And yeah,
Yeah, I think it could take some hits. I didn't realize it got strengths out the other day, but apparently it does.
oh yeah,
I think
it's
that's really good on it.
really cool. Yeah,
But
do you have
yeah, I
anything
think
else to say?
yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I think this team can do good, and yeah, just have some mediocre mons in the middle.
I do think
But
this
I
team
like the
also has the
term
benefit
moment.
of like people not really respecting it enough in prep, and then just kind of losing to something like weird. Like Clefable is one of those weird mons where I feel like I'm always prepared for it, but then I'm going back later and seeing like, am I actually prepped for Clefable, or is like Clefable gonna destroy me by just like sitting
Oh
there?
yeah.
But I think Clef is bad, and so is Team Cody. Just kidding. Anyways, next we have Liger with Calyrex Ice, which I was surprised actually got picked up. I thought people would pussy out of it. We also have the Croissant.
Liga.
Croissant. We have Terra Urshifu, Iron Treads, Terra Skeledirge, Florges, Sylvalia, Moltres, Galar, Roserade, and Omastar. What do you want to say about this team?
What do I want to say about this team? I think Calyrex Ice is a very good Uber. I don't know. I don't think I've heard anybody shit on it, but I think by itself it can win games with Trick Room, and I feel like this team doesn't benefit a lot from Trick Room, but I think it can function under Trick Room. I think Terra Skeledirge is better in Ubers than it is in like Nat decks.
It
I feel like
is
it can
for
speak to
sure.
our fairy.
There's
Yeah,
like
I like
some
that.
stuff
And
that
then
Skeledirge does in Ubers. Like I'm pretty sure if like Uber's UU was a real tier, Skeledirge would be banned from it because it'd be Ubers by usage.
oh yeah, for sure. I think it just stops setup, and that's what a lot of the Ubers like to do, like Mega Salamence. Mega Salamence, I love Mega Salamence. I think a lot of the teams are weak to flying, which I think, Mega Salamence can obviously exploit that.
Oh, for sure. And it's physical attack strong enough where it can cover a lot of stuff that it otherwise would switch in on it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. I also the funny thing about this team I liked is I like how there's two flowers and they're
right.
both pretty good. I think Florges with like its weird like min max stats is probably a lot better than Ubers. Like you're gonna wall like Palkia, Reshiram. Um, yeah, and I think Rosary and Omastar are pretty good like hazard setters. Like they're not great, but you could always bring like one of them. I think Rosary especially is like very underrated. Um,
Yeah,
but I haven't
you should
seen
allow hidden
Roserade.
power in one of
Roserade
the
like has
seasons.
not existed in Gen 9.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I think ever since hidden power went away, you should add hidden power into one of the future seasons and see
I
how
would
it.
love. I swear I feel like I vote on Hidden Power like every season and everyone votes no. And like
I don't know why.
I just want to use Roserade. Like let me use it, please.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. Yeah, I think this is the one team that I haven't shit on so far about removal. I think this team has pretty solid removal, in my opinion, and it's
Yeah,
because has a seven.
Tread's Florg is pretty good. I'm actually using Tread's
It's low
Florg
volley.
in a league right now. I mean, Florg is Terra, but Tread's is very good. Uh, I I feel like I've seen people shit on Treads lately, and I don't know why. I love Treads. Treads is really nice.
I
Although
feel like every
again,
time I want to pick, what was that?
I was just gonna say like it kind of feels pressured to do other things, and like I've actually seen people run it defensively, but I don't think I've ever run Treads like defensively. But especially on this team though, like Treads is very pressured because it's speed tier. It's the fastest mon on this team that isn't item locked, which is a little bit
Yeah,
yikes.
I think every time I want to use Iron Treads, like I don't want to take it too high, but then when I don't take it too high, I get sniped, and then I just can't use it. That's how I feel
You
about
just kind of
Treads.
have to take it round two and like take it as it is. It's like a base 106. Like you fill an important speed tier. You get your steel type. You get a ground type. You get a pivot. You get spin. Um, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like I'm never mad about having to take treads round two, but it's definitely like a middle. It's like a middle round two pick. Like you don't really want to pick it on like a wheel probably. Although that's typically when I pick it. But yeah, people let
that's
it
the
go
point.
to like round three though now if you want it.
Yeah, But yeah, I feel like I think another thing you mentioned this. I think on a Bash's team that the max speed is 120, which is fine, but like again, you can't make that a scarfer.
And
And
yeah,
your
you have
best
to not
scarfer
unlock mod.
is
Yeah.
yeah, your best scarfer is Urshifu Rapid, which I feel like you probably don't want to run
Yeah.
scarf every week.
There's also booster speed treads, but I think I've directed treads like 5 times. I've only ever run booster speed like once, because I just don't think that's a real set. But you probably should be prepping for like +1 like rapid spin treads. Um, So Valley can also scarf and stuff like that too, and you have like agility Moltres. But I guess like other than that, like our speed options aren't amazing. We have Shell Smash, Omastar, but this is one of those teams like you're prepping for Trick Room, Kyark's Ice too.
That is true, yeah. And this team is a little edge quake weak, but it can handle it, I think. But yeah, I think again, I say this to every team. I think their top tier Uber can just carry them into multiple games of winning. I don't know. Do you think that there's going to be any team that doesn't win a game this season?
Is there any team that doesn't what?
Win a game? So I
I
feel like every team
then
can win a
again,
game. I feel like
our last place already won a game. Well, we're
you said
recording
what?
this. I said our last place already won a game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think anything's possible. I think even like even if Liger's not trying, he'll probably still win a game. I don't know if he's already played yet, but I mean Liger's a good coach though, so I wouldn't put it past him to win a game. He just has to try.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like every team is good enough to win a game.
Every
I feel like
team.
any team, even like Osner's team, can also just win the championship. You never know.
Never know. I have rated a last place team as a future championship winner before. It's very funny. Um, we'll see.
Yeah, but I
Honestly,
think
I think every team will win at least one game,
at
except
least one
Sam.
game. Yeah,
Except Sam.
but I think yeah, this team is good. I like it. I really like how it excites, and I'm a big fan of Mega Ments. I've used it a few times.
Yeah, I feel like I've only talked
Just
about
you,
Iron Treads. Iron Treads is the only Pokemon I know about though, so
that's fair. Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Mega Ments also can just win you games.
Yeah, just like Dragon Dance and Aerolite is really strong. But anyways,
Yeah,
I kind of leaked the next one. We have another trash team with Arceus Bug. We got Magearna, Arceus Bug, Terra Latias, Terra Ursaluna, Archaludon, Nihiligo, Mandibuzz, Samurai on 2E, Decidueye round 2E, Typhlosion round 2E, and Ice-Q, who actually like does not exist. Um,
it
this
doesn't
is
do
one of the few
anything.
teams where like I feel like there's 4 Ubers. I think Terra Ursaluna probably should have been an Uber. So we kind of let Fletch get away with this one, unfortunately. But like, it's another one of those teams again where like Arceus Bug is the fastest Mon, and like we don't want to scar
Yeah.
Latias really. Nihiligo, like you don't want to bring that to every game, and even when you bring it, like you don't want to scarf it. Typhlosion, like it's not coming to games. Archaludon doesn't scarf. Samurai can scarf, but like past that, like you're not scarfing anything, and you have no speed control. Um, we might have some Trick Room option though. I think Magearna might get Trick Room or
I think
Latias.
it does, yeah. McGarry gets Trick Room, I think. I'm not sure.
Trick Room Healing Wish maybe. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know how Healing Wish works if like you Healing Wish into Ursaluna. Like, does the burn activate at the end of the turn still? I'm not sure.
I
That'd be
don't think
interesting.
so, but I think it takes like another turn for it to activate.
Oh, because like if you were like Latios and like you flip turn into Ursaluna, then you get the Flame Orb. But I'm not sure
Yeah.
what has priority there. It's interesting. But either way, like I think Terra Ursaluna is one of those things where like you don't actually need to run Flame Orb on it. I think Terra Ursaluna is one of those things where like you see a matchup, you see their ground type is like Dawn Fan. Sorry to shit on the Danley, but if you see a Dawn Fan, I'm running like Terra Electric Ursaluna with a bulk up, and then Dawn Fan's not killing me. and then I'm just kind of clicking bulk up and like drain punch leftovers, and like Ursaluna's just not dying, and the flying type can't break you either. And you're just kind of killing
A
other
lot of
things.
weakness policy options with Magirna, Latias,
Oh
or
yeah, there's
Luna,
a
I
lot
guess.
of weakness policy options. I can see like Archaon doing it too. Um,
Yeah,
Luna though, I'm not sure if you would want to run policy Luna, but it
he
can.
could. You never know.
It can. I honestly I think he will run belly drum. I want to see belly drum.
I want to see it
Just
too. I respect the RCS bug. I know it's in the trash can, but I respect it.
it isn't a trash can. It's also the trashiest. Um,
Patchiest.
I mean, base 120 and everything, like it's still gonna be tanky. I just don't like how it is a bug type that can't run boots, and that bothers me.
Yeah, I agree with that. It just dies to rocks.
And something else I had to say about this team was Mandibuzz is like very necessary on this team. Otherwise, this team's like
Oh
really
yeah.
weak to like Ghost and like other dark types. I mean, sure you can activate like weakness policies, but you're making Latias, Terra, and other things like fighting if it might not even want to. But Mandibuzz definitely
Weakness
helps with
policy.
that.
Weak
Weakness
armor
policy.
Mandibuzz.
I see. I've run that before. It's a good set. It's a good set.
That's another weakness
um,
policy option.
it sure is. We definitely love weakness policy, weak armor, plot Mandy on this channel.
Oh yeah.
I also like the Hisui starter core. I'm glad to see like just a starter trio in general, like a full complete one. There's definitely some other ones that could have worked. Like you could do like Gen 6 or Gen 7, Gen 9 starter trio. Like they all work well together. But I'm glad to actually see it. Um, yeah. What else do you have to say about this team?
Um, I like Samra setting up spikes. Magirna. Round one Magirna was interesting, but I think Magirna's a good mon, so
I think it
it's not the
works.
worst
I
one
think it
pick.
ended up
I think
working
it works, yeah.
because
Yeah.
I think this team was like I thought it was gonna be the worst team by far, but then we kind of just have a good team now.
Yeah.
Like he ended up making it work. I think it's just because he had so many points left. Like he literally put RC's bug on like last second, and I think it just kind of made the team look a little less shit, which is very ironic because we added RC's bug. But hey,
Yeah. He also made Grace transactions, right? I think he
we did.
added the Mandibuzz
It
in the
was
transactions.
yeah. Instead of Mandibuzz, Decidueye, and Typhlosion, it was like Starmie, Celebi,
That would
and
be
something else. I forgot.
There was something else. Yeah, I
But
forgot
it
too.
was very bad.
Yeah, I
This
think
is
this is a lot
really
better.
this is a much better. Even like it was really just Mandibuzz that we added. Decidueye and Typhlosion make no difference to me.
Yeah.
Um, in fact I think Typhlosion's bad, but Typhlosion was like 4 points. So yeah, and also Ice Cube's not real. So moving
It's not
on
real.
to Steven, we have another trash
David!
can. We got Mewtwo, Palkia, Rude, which has already gone insane for week one. I can't wait to watch that game. We have
Oh yeah.
Mega Poopansy, Corviknight, Gliscor, Okidogi, Zora, Kasui, Regieleki, and Fuecoco. I don't think I've ever faced Okidogi before. I see it get
I
drafted
don't
like
think I
quite a
have
bit
either.
in other leagues, but I've never seen it drafted in like SDS or like any other league I play in. So I'm excited to see what it does. Although I kind of wish we did like Dogi and then like made Regieleki like a different electric type and then like drop Fuecoco. But I can respect that. Like you're probably only gonna use Rude. Um,
Wait, Coco could come. Could come, you don't know that.
Fuecoco does have a matchup. I will say it has a matchup.
They match him. Yeah, he had Lanner's
Spoiler
Therian
alert.
before.
Yeah, it was Lander's Therian before Gliscor, but I definitely think the Lando fit the other team better, and Gliscor I think fits this team. Although Gliscor and Corv are a little bit samey, but they have different weaknesses, and they can do different things. Like Corv could do like agility, weakness policy, power trip. Gliscor could be like
Yeah.
swords dance, facade. Like they have different options, but like their basic role is to click U turn and like be annoying fat asses. Um, and yeah, the offense is very good. Palkia is very amazing. Mewtwo is amazing. Terrazarud is amazing. They have a lot of
Pupancy.
options. Pupancy in Ubers is also amazing.
Yeah.
If I said that,
I think he picked up the Aleki just for rapid spin for like the
he
Gliscor,
did.
which
Yeah,
I
he
can
did.
respect.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that. I think Regieleki is like the best of the worst rapid spinners, if that makes sense. Like I don't think I'd pick anything lower than Regieleki as like a spinner.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I'd
I
pick
think Aleki.
Regieleki, but if I'm using it as a rapid spinner and if I don't have an electric type, like I guess Regieleki. I guess he could have also done Rotom for Defog too, but
I think it can also be offensive, especially since you have Palkia to nuke the grounds.
yeah,
So I think it can be
yeah,
offensive some
no,
weeks.
it actually supports Regieleki like very well. It's just got why I gave it a 10 out of 10. Like Zarud, Palkia, definitely like you don't want to bring a ground type to this team really, especially when you have like Corv Gliscor walling the shit out of most grounds too.
Yeah.
Mega Diancie can even just kind of bait in a ground and like smash through it. So Regieleki definitely has like offensive presence here.
hmm But
Even if it
yeah,
is
I'm.
just screens, rapid spin, like if you're just running Thunderbolt, that's all you need.
I wonder what Okie Doki's gonna do here. I think it can do good in Ubers. I feel
It
like. I'm not sure.
so
Never seen it.
Okidogi, do you know what Guard Dog does?
No.
It is basically it's just worse Defiant, where it only works on Intimidate. But you
Okay.
also can't get phased out though. Like so Roar fails, Dragon Tail. I think Dragon Tail will do damage, but it fails to like switch you out.
Ah.
But Intimidate, if you get intimidated, you actually gain +1 attack, which is cool. But I do think Okidogi is like a good toxic chain user just because its fighting typing threatens like steals anyway.
hmm
You are kind of walled by like other
That's,
poisons though, but you get Psychic Fangs for them.
yeah, you also have a Mewtwo for that.
Yeah, exactly. And like I've also been using Okidogi in like OU, and I think it's really cool to use. It it um
yeah.
it beats a very certain special someone that I can't really say.
Oh, okay, I think I know. I like the Zoro Kisui here. I think
It's cool.
it can go. It can complement the Mewtwo, I guess. And then you bring in the Diancie knockoff.
Does it complement Mewtwo very well? I guess it kind of baits
Sort of.
Ghost. It's not the best.
Makes-
I actually think it does better with Okidogi. But I mean, like you can still
yeah,
use it. You can still use it for like Mewtwo and like Zarud. I kind of see Zoroark as like a focus Ashmon, where you switch it in
that's
and then
fair.
like it takes a hit and then it revenge kills a problem.
Yeah,
That's kind of all it does. But it's still
yeah.
cool and like it still does throw people off guard. I mean, we literally had John thinking that Heatran learned Hyper Voice like a couple seasons ago. So yeah, you can do that. Anyways,
yeah, I think it can work. But yeah, we can move on.
our video is gonna be
Good
2
team,
hours long.
Steven.
We have Coach Wisdom next with the Zacian, Zamazenta, Terra Manaphy, Garchomp, Mega Venusaur, Iron Juggles, Klefki, Electros, Mesprit, Colossal. This is another team where I kind of didn't like it too much at first, but I also couldn't really like say too much bad about it. It has some good synergy. It's mostly the synergy. I think we fix a lot of the synergy with like the mid picks with Mega Venusaur, plus Klefki, Iron Juggles, Garchomp, like that defensive core along with Zacian and Zamazenta.
Yeah, I yeah, this team. I think this team is a well-rounded team. I like this team. The double dog core at the top. I would have liked Terra Garchomp a bit more than Terra Manaphy. I think Terra Manaphy is fine, but I feel like Terra Garchomp would have been a little bit better.
Yeah, and I'm actually
But
thinking Terra Manaphy really shouldn't have been an Uber. I think it was very overrated when I think about it, like when it came out, like when you could first actually use Terra Manaphy with like Take Heart and stuff.
yeah,
I think it was overrated at first, but I think Manaphy overall is just not like amazing because it based on hundreds is falling behind quite a bit and it gets outsped by a lot. It doesn't really have any way to boost its speed. Like I've seen Blunder Policy Manaphy like so many times where
oh
like
really?
it's kind of a problem if you're trying to use Blunder Policy to boost your speed. But I do think it's best set as like Take Heart Acid Armor.
For
So
sure. I think that's where Terra can be good with like Terra Poison or something.
for sure.
But I still liked the Terra Garchomp a bit more. I think I heard allegations that Wisdom was copying Jaden with Mega Venusaur and Jugulus.
Yeah, he was. And then he kind of just took like I told him to pick up Klefki because we had Mega Venusaur on a team that had no flying resist.
Yeah,
Like he needed Klefki on this team to handle psychics and flyings because Zamazenta as a steel doesn't do that. And then we also picked up Electros again as like it's a ground resist on a team where like the grass type doesn't resist grounds. Like we needed Electros. We also probably needed Mesprit to also help with that problem. Um, and Mesprit also helps with the psychics as well. So like we're offering some like less pressure from Klefki, but like Electros and Mesprit aren't like the best things in the world. Eel is good as like a slow pivot. I don't know, Mesprit isn't amazing. And then we have
it's
Colossus.
alright. Yeah. Colosso's just there. I think the removal is not the best. It's just Klefki. I think Klefki it can run defog pretty well, but I think yeah, that's your only remover.
Yeah, it
Which
is,
I mean,
which is a problem.
yeah, I mean your team isn't super weak. I mean, I guess Jugulus, but you can just tear that into something else.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really have
I
much to say about this team.
I
It's well
probably
rounded,
grabbed instead of eel, I might have grabbed like a Rotom form. I'm not sure what else I
potentially.
could have done because like Mo doesn't fit. I guess you would have gotten like Fan, but it would have given you like another defog option, and then like
Bridge.
Mesprit's fine, I suppose.
Yeah,
I don't really
yeah,
have too
well
much
rounded
else to
team.
say.
I don't have
Yeah,
much to say about it.
it's just a well-rounded bulky team.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on, we have Log with the Stellar Terrapagos. It is the wrong sprite, but I don't care. We also have
Who cares?
Pheromosa, Giratina Origin, Mamoswine, Ogerpon, Galarian Slowking, Tornadus Therian with the rainbow. We have Bisharp, Pheasantipity, and Clawitzer. This is
Heard
a
of
team.
Terrapagos.
This team actually has a lot of issues, but I think where the the best part about this team is we have good priority with like Sucker Punch, Bisharp. We have Shadow Sneak, Giratina. We have Ice Shard, Mamoswine. Like I think those are like some of the strongest priority we have that got drafted. Trapagos as an offensive mon has no drawbacks because Terra Starstorm just hits everything with no drawback and it's stab. Pheromosa is really
Yeah.
fast. Giratina has a lot of stuff. Like, there's just a lot of stuff on this team.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the one thing I don't like about this team, it kind of relies on Bisharp a lot. As like the flying resist, the psychic,
Yeah,
ice
it
resist
is. It
too.
is the flying resist. It's also the psychic resist, which really sucks. Because we don't want to use Bisharp. He was originally considering King Gambit. I think King Gambit would have been good, but I also think you don't want to rely on King Gambit to do all those things, even though it does do them
Mm-hmm.
probably better than Bisharp. But a Violet Bisharp is fat, I suppose.
It's right, yeah.
I'm also not really sure why we have Slowking and Fez on this team. I think he only needed one. I think
They
even
both
Log
kind of do
was saying
similar
it.
things.
I think he was saying it like after the draft, like he really should have went with like regular Slowking
Yeah.
I think I picked up regular Slowking before it was his turn, anyways. So like, if you want Galarian Slowking, I think he should have kept the Namorous on this team.
Yeah, I think
Namorous Therian specifically, he had. Even then, like I think he could have maybe picked up like Togekiss too, but we have Fez
Fez
and
is there.
Claws are
Yeah, I think
Zappos.
regular Slowking definitely would have been good. I think I like the chili reception into the Mamo though. I think that could do
Yeah, no,
something.
this team does have a lot of synergy. I think the top three work really well together, and then G King and Torn definitely hold together like the defense very well,
Oh,
as
for
well
sure.
as
Yeah.
like you have Ogerpon, Mamoswine, um, like just those like top is it top eight,
Se-
top
7,
seven, yeah, top
8.
seven.
Yeah, including Bishop. Yeah.
If you want to include Bisharp, yeah, sure. And I think Fez has matchups too, but I do think Fez should have just been a different mon. Actually, like Tinkaton could have worked well too on this team.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah, I think you just would have liked another flying
It
resist or another psychic.
if you could convince whoever has Tinkaton to give up Tinkaton for like Bisharp Fez, much better. And then you can have like a different Dark that is better than Bisharp too. Well, actually,
Yeah, I
could
think
be
this team
Bisharp.
also liked an electric type for the flyings.
Yeah, having electric is good too, for sure. Especially when you're probably gonna see a lot of flying types against Fez and Ogerpon.
Yeah,
But we have Mamoswine for that. I mean, like Ice is always a good offensive flying killer.
that's true. Yeah,
And next we
but yeah, I
have
like the team speed.
oh yeah, the speed is really good for sure.
Yeah, I like the speed. It has good speed tiers, good bulk options,
Yeah,
good offense options. Another well-rounded team.
yeah. So I already spoiled the next one. We have me next. So I'm trying to get to the end because I'm losing.
Yeah, I try to speed it up too.
I'm losing steam, and we're also like at like an hour
Yeah,
and a half. Oh no, we're at an hour and
yeah.
six. Yeah, we have my team with Yveltal, Terra Zygarde, Tapu Koko, Iron Moth, who's attracted to the lanterns. It doesn't really look like a lantern, but that's the only lantern PNG I could find that like worked. We got Ferrothorn, Slowking, Terra Arctozolt, Halucha, Cyclizar, and Misdreavus. Um, I try to make my team like as balanced as I possibly could. I could have done better. There's some stuff about like Ferrothorn I don't really like because it's like a steel type that doesn't resist flying or ice, and it's a grass type that doesn't resist ground. So, as you'll see, week one, like I definitely struggled against like something like Kiram is kind of destroying me. Um, and there's like some other stuff too, but I think we have overall, like we have some good switch-ins to other things. Um, I do have a proper ice resist in like Arctozolt and like Slowking as well. And we have a bulky Terra with Zygarde, which can also be like set up. Um, None of my Terras though actually have Terra Blast, which is interesting. So no one ever has to really worry about like the Terra Blast bullshit. What else did I have to say about this team?
Good night.
Oh, what was I thinking? Do you have any thoughts, Chickadee?
Um,
I'm gathering my thoughts.
my thoughts. Okay. So I think on the prep doc it says that the ice and fairy weakness is there. I don't think that's true at all. I think you have very good fairy resistances and good enough ice resistances. I like the speed. I think yeah, also another well-rounded team. I like this team a lot. I think the Bacon Bird is the top tier Uber. I also really like the Terra Zygarde. It could be like Coil, Dragon Dance, or whatever you want. And I think Coco Moth is also good. Coco plus Arctozolt, and then Slowking into Arctozolt. I think it just has
Oh yeah,
really good
there's a
synergy
lot of
overall.
synergies on this team with Coco Slowking specifically. I also was looking like I didn't do it on purpose, but I think Slowking and Ferrothorn are like perfect matches almost. Like Slowking
Oh yeah.
does the fightings and the fires for Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn handles electrics and grasses for Slowking. I guess it doesn't really cover dark, but we also have like Iron Barbs is like having a dark resist almost. Like you don't want to click knockoff on it.
Yeah, and
And
then
like
Fearthorn's usually like the physical
yeah, the
defensive
physical
wall.
wall
It's
and the
looking.
special wall, like they just work super well on paper. Um, Not against
Yeah.
freeze dry, but they work.
Oh,
Um,
that's freeze strike comes.
yeah, unless there's freeze dry, in which case I have to face like two more Kirums. But yeah, I do like the synergies with Coco Moth's, like the not even like the defensive synergies, just like the offensive synergy with like Coco Moth, Slowking, Zolt, Slowking plus Coco and Zolt, which is exactly why I wanted to do Terra Zolt. I want to see people quiver in their pants when they see Terra Electric Bolt Beak in terrain with the Slush Rush.
Uh-oh.
Jesus Christ. And Terra Electric. Um, but I think this team would have been better if I did Terra Lucha. But it's about sending a message, actually.
I think
Yeah.
Terra Artazol make people more scared than Terra Lucha would.
Oh, for sure. That's exactly my motive on it. I think Terra Zolt has a lot of options too. Like you saw earlier, I ran Meteor Beam. What wasn't the best
Spoiler
setup.
alert.
Spoilers. Who cares? I do think though, like my bottom two probably should have been, or well, not should have, but they could have been better. Misdreavus, I'm not gonna use that shit. And Psychozar is kind of just there to click spin if I have to. And it's just kind of a normal type, but I'm probably not gonna use it.
That's fair.
Is
I
there a
mean, I
better
don't think
spinner?
Psychosaur's bad.
I'm not sure if there's a better spinner available.
Yeah, I think what
Maybe like,
this is a top five, right?
huh? This
This
is
is
I
top
think
five, right?
this is number 5.
Yeah, I think the top five, they're all really good. I think we could have probably like changed them around a bit if we wanted to. I think this is one of like, I think this could have been placed up a little higher, your team.
It could have been. I believe this team is tied though with like the next two.
Oh, is it really?
But
Okay.
yeah, but the reason why I couldn't put this like any lower though is because of the synergies with like everything.
For sure, yeah.
Even Lucha, I kind of ignored Lucha, and then even then like Yveltal Coco work together and like Zygarde. Yeah, everything has synergy on this team. Next
I
is
agree.
Sacred Ash, who has um, Trash Arceus Electric. We have Solgaleo, Giratina, Iron Valiant, Milotic, Flygon, Ogerpon, Hearthflame, Overquill, Terra Driftblim, Wigglytuff, and Abomasnow. First of all, before I forget, you have Giratina, so why the fuck do you have Terra Driftblim?
For the giggles.
I don't get it. Like, I don't know. I feel like we just wasted like 7 points on a Terramon that is just kind of Giratina but worse.
He did it for the giggles, that's why.
Maybe he wanted
Make
he
people
wanted
laugh.
Giratina Origin and he's like mad he couldn't have a ghost type with Levitate. Maybe, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
again, why? Anyways, maybe it was just the best flying type that was available. Although we also kind of picked up Wigglytuff with Abomasnow at the end, but yeah.
Yeah, I think those bottom three definitely could have been better.
This is one of the teams where he was drafting. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, it was mostly because he was able to wait on the Arceus Electric. I think he picked up Solgaleo, Giratina, Valiant, and then his next round pick was like Overquill. I'm like, why did we do round 4 Overquill? I think Hisui and Quillfish is better on this team because Overquill is more. I respect it more as like a swift swimmer that can
I can
do
see
like
that, yeah.
intimidate is like a secondary thing, but I think it should be more primary on like a swift swim team. If we did like Politoed over Milotic, and then like
Yeah.
Basque Legion over the last 3.
I think I think this team by far has like the worst Terra captains.
Oh yeah, for
Like you could
sure.
have
Terra
done a
captain's probably
lot
a
better.
lot. Flygon's
Yeah,
very good, but he did make a
with all the
good
options
point. Like
available.
Iron Valiant and Ogreba and Hearthflame were like the very few like non-Ubers that were Terra banned. So like Flygon
Yeah.
and Drifloon are the best Terras that could have been on this team. I think. Actually, I think Terra Overcool is better than Drifblim.
Yeah.
But again, it's like I think you want a rain mode. That's just what I think, though. But maybe you also think that. Um,
Yeah, I just think the last three could be something else. And I feel like Heartflame isn't. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Heartflame without the Terra. I don't think it's gonna do a whole lot.
I can kind of respect like the Obama Snow pick though. You don't really want to
That's
use
true.
ground
Yeah.
resist. I think maybe you could have just done like. I think both the other ogre pawns were gone, and Cornerstone wouldn't help. But if we had like a better ground resist, that could have been good. Because our ground
Yeah, set
resist,
some Veil. The Obama Snow.
the ground resist is Driftblim.
And then it will turn into electric. And then die.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't.
There's just some stuff I question about this team, and like I did rate it high though. It has very good defense. This team seems pretty unkillable. With
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Solgaleo Giratina, like I don't know how the fuck you're gonna kill those. Even with dark types, like they just kind of eat, and you don't even want to click
Then you
knock off
have
because
Valiant.
then you're activating weakness policy.
You
Um,
also have Valiant. You also have Aurora Veil Obama Snow if you want to bring that.
yeah, like this is one of those teams where I think you bring like top four, and then you just bring like a random like bottom two.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
use like
think so
Milotic
too.
Hearthflame or like Overquill more than the rest of them. Like your best mons are like the ones that aren't Terra. So I guess you want to slot like Flygon somewhere, but I do think Terra Drifloon should have been like Terra Overquill. Or even like Terra Milotic could have been interesting. But for the most part,
Could have been cool.
this team gained most of its points from like having good defense and being like
For
super annoying to
sure.
kill.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really have much else to say about the team.
Yeah.
It's a good team, good bold. Their captains
Yeah.
could have been
Also,
better.
yeah.
Speed's okay.
Also, Arceus is good on this team. I like
Oh
Arceus
yeah.
Electric. Only having one weakness is super good.
Yeah. Maybe the speed tiers could have been a little bit better, but yeah. Good team overall.
Now we got Jaden, who has the Rayquaza, the Fluttermane, Great Tusk, Almamola, Muckalola, uh, Tongue Twister, Mega Scissor, Terra, Thunderous Therian, Azelf, repping the SDS, Miltank, Swirlix, and Vulpix, Alola. This is a team. We have stuff on it. I am honestly surprised that Jaden wanted to draft an electric type because he said that
Oh, does he usually not?
he he doesn't like drafting electrics,
Oh, okay.
but
Fair enough.
Thunderous is very good in this team. I like it a lot. I
I
do
do
feel
like it
like
a lot, yeah.
Ray Fluttermane is very good together. Um,
Yeah.
and some of the
I,
issues that this team did have, like um, Ray and Mega Scissor having like a weakness to like fire and ice. Like we fixed that with Miltank, which is very cool. I think Miltank is still a
I do like
usable
that.
Pokemon. It might be usable in Ubers, I'm not sure, but I like it. Um,
Yeah. I think the only real weakness I see is like the flying weakness, my opinion, which
yeah,
I think could be
our
pretty
flying
big.
switch in is Thunderous, and that's all you have, and it's Terra, and it's not
Yeah.
really the best bulky electric. If you can face like the Hurricanes, sure, it's a good assault vestmon low key, but it's not good at like taking Brave Bird. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But
I
he does have the best offensive flying, which is not very good.
True. I think she was debating on tearing the Azov for the Thundersterian. I think if you're not gonna tear out the Azov, he could have made it something else. I think, in
I
my
think it
opinion.
was it was Terra Azelf or Terra Tusk. He was always gonna do Thundy.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think he could go either way. I would prefer if it was Azelf, but I see why it's Tusk, and I'm fine with it either way. Azelf is a
Mhm.
little underwhelming at times. Like it's kind of like Serena, where it's one of those mons where you draft it and like it has a lot of good options, but it can't do all of them at once. And there's
Yeah.
usually like a huge flaw with like whatever it does, so then you end up just being overwhelmed and even bringing it. But I
Hmm.
like it. But Azelf was
I like
also
this team a
I
lot.
think Azelf was necessary on this team like fixed speed tier
That is true. Yeah. So
because
yeah, I guess it's there
it
for the
was
speed tier.
Fluttermane, Thundy, and like yeah, you don't want to do that. Like Scarf Thundy can work though with Terra, which is fine. Because before, if you're not
Hmm.
Terra Thundy, like you don't really want to run like choice items. I mean people do, but my problem with it is you want to run like boots. You don't want to like switch in on rocks and like take damage and then switch in on a damaging move.
That is true. Yeah. You have the alamala for
Oh
wish
yeah,
in case.
Aloe works super well with Thundy
Also works with Muck and Scizor in a
and
way.
Muck. Yeah, they are a very good pairing. And I would say like one of Muck's biggest issues is it gets so worn down. But I think with wish passing, like it just kind of doesn't die.
Yeah, I
It kind of
agree. And I
abuses
think
that a
Flutter
lot.
offensive fairies are very good in Ubers, and I think you have like the best offensive fairy of Flutter Mane. If it boosts your
Yeah,
speed, like nothing's outspeeding it.
Fluttermane is very annoying, and I
Yeah.
regretted not putting that as a silver. But in Jacob's
Yeah.
case, if it was a silver, it wouldn't have mattered because he would have just not drafted like Vulpix or Swirlix.
Yeah. Those are
Um,
just filler mods. Maybe they'll
it,
come. You don't know that.
huh?
I said maybe Swirlix and Vulpix will come. I was saying they're filler mods, but maybe they're not. Maybe they'll come.
They are. Vulpix is a filler mod. Swirlix, you can use Swirlix like once maybe to set up webs. Swirlix
Yeah.
is also one of those mons where I don't like it because I don't understand its design. Like, why does it have 2 feet sometimes, and why does it have 1 foot sometimes? That's my question. Please answer.
I didn't realize that.
Like, have you seen its art styles where like it has 2 feet and the other one has
Yeah,
1 foot?
yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Sometimes it floats and sometimes it like stands.
It just don't
I
make
don't.
sense.
It's like the only Pokemon design I don't understand. But anyways, anything else? Do I have to say anything else about this team? We got like alright
I,
removal. I think Tusk is like the best removal, but it's also like the best spinner in the format. So I really won't
yeah.
like whine about it.
Yeah, I like this team a lot. And yeah, I kind of want to get this done with, honestly.
Yeah, we got 2 more teams. Moving on,
Two
we
more
got
teams.
Orn with Xerneas, Mega Metagross, Terra Kyurem, Meowscarada, Rotom Toilet, Spectrier. You were asking about Spectrier earlier. Here's the Spectrier. Moltres,
Oh, it's here.
Nidoqueen, Wailord, and Terra Furret. We do have some throwaway mons at the bottom with the Wailord Furret. He will use Furret. Trust me, he will use it. But the
Oh,
rest of the
yeah.
team is like very solid. As much as I really hate Rotom Wash, I like it's a very solid. I think top 8, and
Yeah, the
like
top
they're
eight
all
is
very
very
solid.
good, I think. Mm-hmm. Speed tiers are good. I think the offense is very good. On the type chart you see, there's no
His type
glaring
chart is
weaknesses.
his type chart is very good, which is very sad
Yeah.
considering like I'm pretty sure most of his draft was just, oh, it's my pick. Let me just see what's on the board, and then he just picks whatever, and he still ends up with
Yeah.
like the second best draft without even trying, which is just that's just how good he is. Um,
Yeah.
Terrakirum, I think, is I'm gonna make a prediction that it'll be the most successful Terra in this format. I think Terra Kirim is fucking insane, and
I think it's amazing too.
I'm
Yeah.
happy. I think I don't have to face it until playoffs. So, assuming I make it, but I'm happy to not have to face it yet.
Yeah.
I will be happy to lose to it in playoffs when my Ferrothorn gets one shot by like crit freeze dry. Um, but
Dang.
yeah, the rest is cool though. Um, I don't like Rotom Wash, but it does look
Road
cool.
toilet.
it's it's from the Terra League. Mega Metagross is really good. Xerneas is really good, even though it can't Geomancy. Um,
The
removals are
fairy type
good.
maneuvers.
You only need Rotom Wash and Moltres for removal.
Yeah.
Pokemons work very
And
well
honestly,
together.
Xerneas, a lot of the time, it can just run Moonblast as one move
Yeah,
and just have default as like an extra move.
yeah. Like I feel like Xerneas is one of those bonds where you can just run like you could probably run like Rest Sleep Talk, Moonblast, Defog,
It'll work, yeah.
and it just works. I've even seen like sets where you just run like Specs Moonblast and only Moonblast. Or if you run
Yeah.
like other moves, you run like Sleep Talk because it's just one of those mons where you just click a button. It's like having
Fairy Aura.
Dracovish. It's like Dracovish. You just
Yeah.
click Moonblast.
That is true. Yeah, Fairy Aura is a very busted ability in Ubers. Metagross, it got a lot of new fun stuff. What did it get? It got Heavy Slam, Knockoff. What else did it get? Got some other stuff, I think, too.
Psychic Fangs.
Psychic Fangs. Yeah, it got a lot of
It's a
fun
lot
stuff.
better now compared to when I used it like 2 years ago and it didn't have any of that shit. Where were you
Yeah, I
at
think it's a
when it
lot
came
better now.
Metagross? Fuck you. Fuck Metagross. I also like how like design wise Metagross and Kyurem have like those like spike things. Like Metagross has like the hand ones, but Kyurem's are like
Oh,
the
yeah.
he has like the butt plug. I like that. It's silly.
In a way, Meowscarada too, in that art, I guess. I
What?
know that's like its scarf, right? Like you're talking about spiky things. Like is like the green stuff is a scarf, right? Or what is the green stuff? Like it's hanging out from the side that look like wings.
Um, I don't know. Leaves.
Leaves. Okay, I thought it was like its scarf.
I don't know. I'd have to look at its design again from the back.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways,
I hope their furry comes.
I hope so too. I'd rather see Terrafert than Terrakiron.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, what else did I have to say about this team? This is definitely not like a defensive team, but it has some good like natural bulk either way. Like this whole team is like other than Meow is natural bulky. Even Meow can take like Malignant Chain from Pecharunt and survive
Yeah.
without investment, which is funny. But like it's very reliant on its natural bulk. You're really not going to be running most of these mons like too bulky, except like Rotom, Moltres, Nido.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our
Yeah.
last mon
Yeah,
though,
another very good team.
or our last team because we're both tired and we need to sleep.
Yeah, dude, get
Is
sleep.
Chickidy.
Yay!
I will say before people say this is rigged, I put this team at number 1 all by myself. Chickidy didn't touch anything. I think the only teams we touched were like the bottom 5. So
Yeah.
yeah, and we have another Rotom form who's serving cookies because it's the grandma form Rotom. Very ironic to see me putting 2 Rotom forms in the top 2 slots. I think they were the only Rotoms that got drafted too. I think Fletch drafted
Yeah.
a Rotom form, but he dropped it. So we only have 2. And it would be the 2
Lame.
on top. But anyways, you have the Eternatus, Kyurem Black, Enamorus, Landorus, Therian, Keldeo, Grimmsnarl, Rotom Heat, and Polion, Mega Audino, and Spidops. I rated this team the highest because I played a little bit of Ubers before the draft started, and I face a lot of Grimmsnarl, Kyurem Black, where we're just setting up screens and then Kyurem comes in to click buttons. And I got very tired of seeing it. So here it is at number 1, so people will prep for it. And I think we just got a lot of like bang for the buck. We started with like a very ice weak draft, and then we have a lot of ice resist with like Keldeo, Rotom Heat, and Polion, which definitely helped a lot. Megalodino's a really good bulky normal type. That's not even weak to fighting. I mean, it's a little bit weak to poison, but we have Eternatus and like Landorus, so like not a lot of poison types are gonna want to come or steals.
Worst is even
So,
though I have triple fairy, but it's okay.
huh?
I said even though I have triple fairy, steals won't want to come. I feel like
Yeah,
because of Keldeo Rando.
yeah. I mean, like you're kind of forced to bring steals, but like a lot of your fairies kind of deal with steals anyways, just by like pivoting around into your steel breakers. So
Yeah.
yeah, I Rotom Heat and Polion is like a tried and true defensive core as well. I think that's been used since like Gen 6 UU. The only thing you're missing from that core is Chestnut. So
Oh.
I think that was the core. I think it was Rotom Heat and Polion Chestnut is what people used. We also have
I was,
Switchops, the best mon on the team.
he's
Uh,
just there to force prep.
yeah. And we have two very good Terra captains. I think Enam, Keldeo are very good. Enam for like Terra Stellar, Terra Blast, or just like defensive Terra or like Terra Ground offense. We also have Keldeo for like Terra Fighting Vacuum Wave and all that bullshit. I think Terra Fighting Vacuum Wave, like you get the fighting boost and you get like a 60 base power Vacuum Wave, if I remember correctly, because I think the Terra boost makes all your low base power moves base 60 at least. I could be wrong.
Oh,
I could be
maybe.
wrong because I know that works with like draining kits goes from 50 to 60 base power.
Ah.
So
Oh, maybe I didn't know that actually.
it's a very strong vacuum wave that you got.
Oh yeah.
What do you want to say about your team? What were your thoughts?
I think in the type chart where it says I have weak steel and weak fairy, I don't think that's true. I think I'm good on those two. Rock is a little concerning, but it's okay. Um, I think I picked up Kieran Black pretty late in the draft. I think it went from like Eternatus to Enam to blah blah blah. But anyways, I think I wasn't really planning on getting Kieran Black, but I think I've seen that like Kieran Black looks like really good, especially with screens with like Dragon Dance, Quarter Dice, Icicle Spear, or even just like a Scale Shot. And I feel like I'm a believer in like offensive fairies and Ubers. That's why I picked up Enam pretty early. I think that's a very good mon. I drafted Gliscor initially, then I traded it with Steven because I didn't know Steven wanted Gliscor, and I felt really bad. And I kind of like Landorus on my team, so I traded the Gliscor to him for Landorus, and I'm happy with the trade. I think Landorus benefits my team a lot. Rotom Heat, I think when I took it, I sniped a lot of people. Sorry to everybody I sniped, but like
Did
I
you
needed
snipe
an
a lot of
ice.
people? Everyone wanted Rotom Heat because Rotom Heat just kind of fixes every issue. I
It
will
does, yeah.
say, because we played already, that you are like low key steel weak. When I brought
You
Ferrothorn
think
in
so?
earlier, I was like, Jaro is like very good against you. So
You think so? Yeah, that's
yeah,
fair.
so
I think I'm
I'd be
okay
a
on
little bit
steel.
careful with like the offensive steals, but I think you can work around it. Um,
Yeah,
it'll be a little bit easier because like Keldeo will work, but Ferrothorn is like the only steel type that Keldeo doesn't want to switch in on, I guess.
yeah.
Or Ferrothorn is the
You
only
guys can watch
steel that
Baka's
Keldeo doesn't
video.
want to switch in on. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you guys can watch Baka's video next once the PRs are over. Whenever week one comes
once
out.
PRs are over and the last two games are played, we will release those. The week one
Yippee!
video. I'm losing my voice, but here's our final rankings. We have Chickadee, Orange, Jaden, Sacred Ash, me, Log, Wisdom, Steven, Fletch, Liger, Odie, Heister, Bashta, Samkey, the Danley, and Azu Nerd. These are all very good teams. Even our like D D minus team, the 23 out of 40, is still a good team. And Yeah, even a 16th place can win a chip because it's happened many times.
Oh yeah. I think everybody will do good. I hope this season's fun.
Yeah. And the I'm not very proud of these PRs, by the way. I've definitely
It's
like
fun.
on a few of these slides, I'm like, I open my mouth and I'm like, what am I talking about? So if you hear something weird come out of my mouth, it's just not true. It's just because I've been up since 5 in the morning and Chickadee took finals. So
Yeah, we are both tired.
this is what you get. But at least you're not getting in an argument with Chalk.
I remember that Chalk liked my team. That is what I'll remember forever.
All right.
It
Well, thank you, Chickadee, for joining me. It was really fun.
was very fun. Very nice to talk about it. How long was the video?
Hour and 35 minutes.
You
So
guys will get an hour and 35 minutes of yapping.
yes, and
And
then
you guys will watch every
and then
single
10 of
minute.
those minutes is my brain malfunctioning because Chickadee leaves and I'm like, what am I doing? Do you have any closing thoughts?
um, okay, let's predict finals. Who do you think is making it to finals?
I think finals will
I
be like it, it's gonna be Orn,
Yeah, for
obviously.
sure.
Orn. Who else do
I
you
think it'll
think?
be you and I think it'll be you and Orn, honestly.
You think it'll be me and Orn? I don't know if I can believe in my Iron Moth team.
I think I think Steven could low-key do some
I think it might
cook
be like
too.
I think it'll be like Steven and Orn.
Maybe,
But I
yeah.
want to say like there's gonna be some shenaniganry. I could see like
Nitty-gritty.
I could see like the Danley in finals. I want to see that.
Oh yeah. I hope Asnunerd and Dedeno is in finals.
The Danley in finals. All right. The Danley versus Orin. Those are your picks. You better win. Pressure's on.
Pressure is on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I'll see everyone for week one. Maybe I'll have Chickadee for week one. Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
See you later.
Bye bye.